big part of that comes up, and I tell my clients ahead of time, and I try and explain it to them. They're going to ask you about purchasing closing protection.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a buyer, they may be bringing a sizable down payment to the closing in the form of a wire transfer, which has been wired from their account to your account. Then it has to go from your account to the seller's account sometime within an hour or two, or maybe 6 or 8 or 10 hours after the closing happens. Those funds will show up. So during that period of time, you have the money, and the closing protection protects the party delivering that money until it gets delivered to where it's supposed to be. Now, I've heard a lot of closing agents say, "Oh, this $25 that covers you in case we steal your money."
You're just tipping the guy. You don't need to pay for it, Yeah. I'm like, $25 tipping me. What would that get me nowadays anyway?
Right, exactly.
Can't even get me a flight out of
so
here.
Explain what it really covers.
Yeah, so closing protection coverage, I'm required by the state of Ohio to offer it. And I take it very serious at the closing table. There's two things that I go over that I stop and make sure that I get everybody's attention while I'm going through it. Because I don't want to have to explain it numerous times. I want to make sure everyone understands what they're purchasing if they want this option. So it is optional. So when I'm going over it, closing protection coverage, what I say is we're the neutral third party. We're the title company. Like you said, you explained it perfectly. All the money is going to go through us. And, you sent your wire, which you were standing at the bank. And I saw, the sizable amount. It's probably a lot of money that you may have not spent this amount of money at one time in your life, So I want to make sure that that you're comfortable, that once you send it, that we have it. And I confirm with them right then and there. I stop and I look and I make sure we've got your wire. Okay, so we got it. All right, now that I have it, now when I go to make the seller's payoff, which you don't want their mortgage, so I'll make sure that gets taken care of, right? And then I want to make sure all the parties that are involved are paid appropriately. And then, so we're using your money and the money that we get from the bank, which at that point, we still have to make sure we get that money too. We're collecting all the funds. And then when I give it to the seller, making sure that when I give the seller their money, that, we handle it the way that they need it done. So we have a big responsibility here with everyone's money. So if you think that we're ever going to make a mistake or there's going to be a chance that a wire may be intercepted, this is what this protection coverage covers you for. And for you to buy it as a buyer, it's $20.
$20.
And it's up to you. It's completely optional. If you want to purchase it, check right here.
And they just wired you $25,000, $20. If your account got hacked or something funky went wrong with that wire transfer, their $25,000 is covered.
Yeah, correct. And that's what drives me nuts about that too is if the buyer's wiring that money, their bank will charge them sometimes a wiring fee, which is around $15 to $20. Well, what does that wiring fee do? Well, they say it's a convenience fee. Well, how's it convenient? They just sent it, and then they say, okay, when's that going to hit my account? We can't tell you. So okay, you maybe pay a convenience fee, and now you can't tell me when it's convenient. It's not convenient at all. And so that's where I always just kind of chuckle the way the industry is. But yeah, and when I'm going through the conversation, I have the buyers, and as the buyers are going through and making their decision, usually they're talking, and I go over to the seller and I say, you're getting a screaming discount today at $55. And the reason I say screaming discount, just to kind of joke to make it funny, just to let them know, because the buyer sent me $25,000, but the seller may be getting $200,000. Right? So there's a lot.
And you're responsible for that
Correct.
$200,000. It may be 5 minutes, it may be 5 hours, it may be 10 hours.
Correct. And give you an example. Specifically yesterday, we're closing. It was 4:25. Okay, wire cutoff's 4:30. It's Friday. So at 4:30 on Friday, if we don't get this wire out in the next 5 minutes, you're not going to get it sent until Monday. So now, Mr. Seller, I owe you $519,000. I remember the number yesterday. I'm terrible with numbers. Maybe that's why I like the title side. I'm a numbers geek. But I said, we are going to wire you $519,000. And he's closing on their other house on Tuesday. And he's like, we need this money now. So if I gave him a check, there's going to be a hold on that money, right? So I said, my best advice would be, let's do the wire. And he's like, let's do it. So I had him fill out the wire for him, but I said, make sure if you accept or defer this coverage, we're going to hold that money from Friday because we're not going to be able to send it. It's 4/28 now.
Till Monday morning.
Yeah, till Monday morning. So I can guarantee you it's going to be in your account by Monday night. You're going to have it by the end of the day Monday, regardless, because we're going to issue the wire in the morning of Monday. Just know that from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that money's in our account. You know, you're going to leave today. You sold a house, and you're leaving without a check.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird feeling, you know.
Yeah, right.
The reason most people are selling is because they're wanting the money.
Right.
So I hate doing that for people. So that's why I'm really serious about that closing protection coverage. I said, if you leave today, you're leaving without a check. You know, you sold your property. You're homeless now.
There's no guarantee.
Yeah.
That money's going to be there when we go to wire it on Monday morning.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that could happen.
But this insurance company is going to ensure the fact that we collected it and it will be delivered to you regardless for the $55.
Yep.
Bingo.
Done. And I take cash or check.
Now my clients look at me and they say, should we buy this? Well, I can't advise you to or not to buy it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a realtor and I'm not an attorney and I can't advise you anything legally, and this is hedging on the legal aspect of representation, and I can't do that. Mm-hmm. But we give you all the facts, and you make your decision. And if you decide to take it, great. If you don't, you know what the responsibility could be.
Yeah. And if they defer, I usually just go, okay, you know, I'm glad, you know, thank you guys for your attention. You know, I didn't just get this embroidered last night. You know, I didn't just come in here to try and look super legit. We've been in business 24 years. Mm-hmm. You know, you can, you know, we wouldn't be in business if we weren't ensuring this gets done right. So just to kind of give them peace of mind, knowing, you know, that we're going to do our jobs.